Welcome to Nugget 179 with Steve Groman. We are going to go through another article in the Discover June 2021. It is entitled, In Search of the Dark Ages. Well, we know when the Dark Ages were. We know what they were all about, but they have a new take on it, don't they? A telescope plan for the far side of the moon could plug a 500 million year old hole in cosmic history. Well, wouldn't that be handy? But I do want to start off first about this picture, and I want you to explain a little bit about this fantastic looking picture of purples and yellows and reds that says a massive galaxy cluster is intertwined with threads of dark matter, blue, and gas, orange. The formation of large-scale structures seen today are thought to have originated during the universe's mysterious dark ages.
Well, that's lovely.
It's gorgeous. It looks like, what's that thing I like to have? Oh, a kaleidoscope. I love my kaleidoscope.
It looks like a kaleidoscope.
It looks like a
Well,
kaleidoscope.
first off, I've got just tons of current articles, and we've discussed it many times, that they don't even know what dark matter is. They don't know what it is. They don't know anything about it.
And you can search that out. Just find a
please
video
do.
by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
He admits it
It's
in many situations that they don't know what dark energy or dark matter are.
So to think we've got pictures of it here, a bit of a stretch,
Yeah,
right?
he even calls them Fred and Wilma.
Right. We have to realize that they don't take pictures. This is not a picture. This is a computer-generated image that's based off of some information data that was received from some telescope somewhere. And then they apply filters and they apply colors and they make this thing out to make it look like they want it to look. And
That's what CGI is. CGI stands for Computer Graphic Image.
in our misconceptions about space lesson, we'd show the Cat's Eye Nebula, a very famous nebula. I show 6 different versions of the same thing, all from their resources and such.
It just depends on what color they
just
apply
depends
to
on what you want to apply to,
gas
what you
or
want to do to what.
which signal.
But anyway, listen how this goes. Some 13.8 billion years ago, our universe burst into being. In a fraction of a second, which, by the way, they say that this thing, when it exploded, the Big Bang, this thing started and boom, a fraction of a second is negative 10 to the 39, which is a point with 39 zeros before you get to the 1 of
That's
a second.
awfully quick.
That's really, really fast. But then they say it lasted somewhere between 36 zeros in a 1 and 35 zeros in a 1. And that's all. Whew.
I am so glad they have that
So
nailed
they've
down.
got that all nailed down. But anyway, in a fraction of a second, it ballooned from subatomic to the size of a grapefruit. And as the cosmos grew and grew, it also cooled until building blocks of matter, subatomic particles called quarks and gluons, formed. Oh. Eventually, this quark soup aggregated into atoms. Atoms merged into larger molecules. Gas filled the universe, yet the cosmos would sit like this. Dark. For hundreds of millions of years before light shone from the first stars and galaxies. We understand parts of what happened in the early universe.
No, you don't.
These are the parts they understand.
You absolutely do not.
This is a science fiction fairy tale.
That is just one paragraph.
And this is in a science publication. But anyway, done by science people. But anyway.
Evolutionists.
Evolutionists. Yes, I should say evolutionists. We're not down on science. Science is good stuff.
Right.
But a huge blank still haunts astronomers.
Ooh.
I would
I bet
imagine.
it does.
They call it the Dark Ages. Because with no starlight to study, they're left with guessing where all the familiar stuff came from. How did we go from a gas-filled universe to the one we now see in the sky?
Hey, you know what?
I've got an idea how that happened.
Yeah.
God set them
Yes,
in
he did.
the
He said
firmament
he did.
of the heaven.
And that's what they look like because they follow their own course and they
Yeah,
don't.
The Bible says they're in a course, and we've been taking pictures for years, and they're all in courses.
But I just thought something. If Neil deGrasse Tyson calls dark matter and dark energy Fred and Wilma, now they have dark ages. Now we can have Barney.
I guess that might be so.
Barney was his friend, right?
Yeah.
And Betty. So
I
soon
suppose
they're
so.
going to get another dark something, and that'll be Betty.
Yeah,
So
we got to have
she's
some
gotta
fun with this one. The early universe had no galaxies, just hot stuff.
Ooh.
As things cooled off, something had to happen before galaxies formed, says Nobel Prize-winning astrophysicist John Mather of NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. He says, quote, honestly, we've got lots of stories and lots of predictions, but no measurements.
I think you have
This is what we've been saying all along.
Right.
The
They
way.
just,
It's
they are omitting so much if you read it with a critical eye.
unraveling this mystery is, quote, one of the great objectives of modern-day astronomy. I guess it would be. That's true. To solve it, scientists and engineers have identified an unlikely location for their work, one that could help shape the next generation of astronomical research, the far side of the moon.
Where we can't see anything going on.
Yeah. Before the first stars, the universe didn't emit visible light, but the primordial matter that pervaded the universe likely did emit radio signals. It likely did.
Somebody had the radio on, but the light was off?
I guess that must be.
Okay.
Astronomers have never seen these wavelengths. Oh. So they're making this up too. They're just believing it to be.
They never even saw the radio.
They've never seen the wavelengths.
And we're not being really sarcastic or ignorant here. Listen to what they are claiming and admitting.
Exactly. Astronomers have never seen these wavelengths because they're so stretched out that they can't be detected over the radio chatter bouncing around Earth. The far side of the moon is the one place in the inner solar system where radio astronomers can find some peace and quiet. Its surface always faces away from Earth, so if astronomers could build a radio telescope there, they'd have a natural noise barrier.
Well, that would be so convenient.
And I'm telling you. We see it over and over and over, and these are the things that draw people away from believing the Bible, because, boy, this sounds fanciful. Well, to me, it sounds like a story, a fairy tale, a comic strip. That's what it sounds like.
Well, I was sitting next to a young mom in church yesterday, and as you were doing a presentation on space and different issues, and she said, people just love this stuff. They just buy it, meaning the evolution stuff. And she was just beside herself, basically, on what can we do? How can we try and shed some light on this?
Well, one thing we can...
These nuggets.
Yeah.
We are showing the ridiculousness of what these people are saying.
And this is current stuff.
We're
talking June 2021. We're not talking about something
now.
In 1700 that now they've learned better. This is what goes on now, and it always has been going on. The thing of it is there's a draw, an attraction to this kind of stuff with young people especially, and a lot of guys mainly.
And that's what she was saying, because she's in her mid-20s, and she happens to be a mom with 2 kids, and so she's already got the family thing going on, but she has friends that are single and 2 younger siblings, and they are just intrigued, enamored, and captivated, and walking away from God. That's the commonality. And it's such a shame, but that is one of Satan's greatest tools.
Right. We have fun with these things, but it is a serious thing. It is a serious issue.
And this is why we're spending time doing it.
Exactly.
Please share these nuggets. And please pass them along to family and friends. They may seem trivial or ridiculous to you, but people are buying this.
That's exactly right. They're hooked into this stuff. And one thing that people can do is just arm themselves with the information about the issue. Whatever it is, just like all these articles say, they're filled with they may, they might, could be, we think, we thought.
We're hoping, we
want. They're filled with that. But people that don't hear that or don't see that, even though it's said and heard, they just grab onto the excitement part. And that's what they're left with. But the more you understand the depth of the article, what it's actually talking about, the more you can talk to those people and say, well, wait a second, let's take a look at this. No, they just think this. They just hypothesize this. They just believe this and such. It's not science.
And when they say they know something, read the rest of the sentence and see, is that even logical or probable or possible that they know that? And I know that in these last few nuggets that we've done, we were talking about how someone can take one of these larger articles. We've only taken the beginning of this article. This article continues on talking about the telescopes on the moon and all that. We just have focused on the first part of the article. You can take any part of anything and make it sound factual and good and run with it. And that's all people have time for these days, or take time for, just sound bites. Quick things. If you don't get their attention right away, you're not going to get their attention. So they just hear bits and pieces and they accept it and move on.
And watch out for that word know or known, because I showed at the meeting yesterday the article about the 380 million year old fish that gave us fingers, that gave us digits. We did a nugget on that. Our great-great-grandfish, they call it, but they say it's our earliest known ancestor, our earliest known fish relative that gave us these fingers, and it's just preposterous. There's no way to know that.
Well, one guy, he popped off, he said, I want to shake his hand.
Yeah, right.
I thought that's really cute.
That's cute. I'll have to steal that line.
Yeah, you will.
Whenever I present that information.
All right. We hope these nuggets are helping you, your family, and your friends. And again, if you can help us on a financial basis, we certainly appreciate that. We spend a lot of time doing these nuggets to hopefully spread the truth of God's creation, and we appreciate your help, your support, and your prayers.